ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Slushy. Today we got an action-packed build video, so before we get into the build, here's a little bit of it on display. After, we'll go into the meat and bones of the build. Till then, enjoy. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys liked the action in the beginning. Today I'm going to be going over my Magic Sorcerer complete build for Greymoor. This build is really dope, hits really hard, the sustain is pretty good, all around defense is pretty nice. There's some things that I still need to tweak and I still need to work on, but overall it's a really good Magic Sword build. Now, getting into the build right off the start, our stats, when we're not buffed up or anything, we are sitting at almost 42k max mag, 25k health in Cyrodiil, almost 17k stam. Stam is crucial. Stam is going to help me to rule dodge. I can also convert my stam into magicka when I'm using dark conversion, which is really going to help for my overall sustain and for when I'm trying to 1vx. The health is good because now shields not only scale off like your resistances, but it also scales off your health, which having 25k is really going to help you to survive in combat. Magic recovery, we're sitting at around 1700, which is nice. Stam recovery is at 700. Health recovery is at 500, which is looking pretty good. Spell damage unbuffed, we're at 1900 and 30%. Critical hit does not matter at all with this build because we're not going to be getting any crits. You guys will see why soon. Attributes, 64 into mag. Again, we're on a mag sorc. The more mag you have, the more damage you can do. So we're really already sitting at good health. There's no need to run anything in health. Stam, same thing. We're almost at 17k. So we're good on that end. Food, we're using spring-loaded infusion. This increases your max health and mag by your max health by 4,200, your max mag and stam by 3,800, and it is counted as a drink. Even though it gives you max stats, it's counted as a drink. The reason why we use this is because we're using Bright Throat, so this is gonna work on Bright Throat because Bright Throat works when you use a drink, and since this gives you max stats and it's a drink, it's the perfect thing to pair with Bright Throat. The boon, we are rocking the Mage. We are a werewolf. I'm just messing around with werewolf. I haven't fully leveled it up, but I heard that werewolves are pretty decent on magic builds this patch, so I don't know. At some point I'm going to mess around, maybe try to see if I can make like a magical werewolf or something, but this isn't really too important for this build, but I just have that because I've been messing around with it lately. So going into the sets that we are rocking on the build, we are rocking 4-piece willpower. The reason why we're doing 4-piece is because if you can see, we're rocking 2 willpower pieces of jewelry, and then we are rocking the Malakath ring. So the Malakath ring is going to increase your damage done by 25%. You cannot deal critical damage. So this is really nice because Magic Sword, when your stuff crits, you hit really hard. So I figured, why not just use the Malakath ring and always have that like maximum damage all the time, just flat out 25%, and it works really nice. I'm hitting super hard with it. The willpower, we're rocking 2-piece on the jewelry, and the staff counts as a 2-piece, so I could rock like 1 willpower neck and rock a willpower inferno and have the 3-piece, and then I could run like 1 crafty, but there's really no point because another ring is going to be the same. Like any ring I rock is going to be the same, so I'm just rocking 2 willpower. Everything is, these 2 are magic recovery glyphs. The Band of Brutality is spell damage enchant, and I also have the Bloodthirsty trait on it, so this increases my damage on enemies under 25% health by 10%. So not only am I getting the increased 25% damage from Malakath, when someone goes under 25% health, it's giving me an additional 10% damage on top of the 20%. So when people are in execute range, I'm doing an extra 35% damage. So when you're doing 35% extra damage with Crystal Frag, with your execute, you're hitting super hard, which is really nice. So to pair with this, for this damage, I wanted to still be able to get a lot of Magicka, because mag is really important on Mag Sorc, right? You're going to hit harder if you have a lot of mag. You're going to have more sustain because you're going to have more Magicka to use. So what this set is doing is it's giving me max mag recovery. While you have a drink buff active, your max mag is increased by 1930 and your Magicka recovery by 145. So not only am I getting 2 pieces of recovery in this build, but I'm getting 3 pieces of increased max mag. And like I stated earlier, I'm running this food right here, which is called Spring Loaded Infusion, which is actually a drink, but it's basically the same as Tri-Stat food because it's increasing my stats, but it counts as a drink, so it pairs perfectly with Bright Throat. So we can still get that really nice sustain, those really high, big, juicy stat numbers, while still having, while still using a drink and, making the build just lit. So to pair it off, to just top the build off, we got our damage, we got our max Magicka, we got, we got decent sustain so far, but how can we take this build to the next level? Well, that is going to come in with Engine Guardian. Engine Guardian was recently buffed. It is actually so good this patch. A lot of people thought it was a nerf, but no, it's actually a buff. So what it's doing is health recovery. It's nice. When you use an ability, you have a 25% chance, guys, to summon a Dwemer automation that restores 531 stam or magic or 2200 health to you every half second for 6 seconds. So for 6 seconds, you are basically getting 1,000. You're basically getting 1,000 mag or 1,000 stam every second for 6 seconds. So that's 6k free resources. Or you can get the health from it, which is going to be giving you 2200 health every 0.5 seconds. So that means every second you are getting almost 4,500 health. So 4,500 you're getting a ridiculous amount of health. You're getting over 20k health in 6 seconds if that procs, which is actually cracked. Like, I can't tell you the amount of times I have almost died in Cyrodiil and my health is really low and the health proc goes off and I just shoot up to full health. Getting 2200 health to you every half second and getting 4500 health every second for 6 seconds is actually nuts. This set is so good right now, and if you're not using it in Cyrodiil, you're actually giving yourself, because it is so strong for resources. Yeah, you could be using some other sets like Balor's that's gonna let you hit hard, but just for overall sustain, if you're like a solo player, if you're out there and you're on a build where, you know, your sustain just is, it's rough, you're having a hard time, you don't really know, you don't really know what to do to make yourself survive longer, you're running out of resources, you're getting killed fast, pick up Engine Guardian. It's a really good set. It's a good set for beginners as well, because it lets you play a little bit more lenient. You don't have to really stress about your resources too much, and overall it's just overall great set. So traits on my gear, I'm using Infused on the helm. I'm using 3 multi-effect enchantments, 1 on my head, 1 on my chest, and 1 on my legs. This is going to be giving me the extra health and the stam. That's how my health is able to reach 25k in Cyrodiil, and also the stam is able to reach 17k. We are rocking 5 Impenetrable. Impenetrable is probably still the best trait for PvP, because people are still hitting hard and people still run builds that hit hard with still using crits. Like, there's still people who run crit builds and you're going to be getting hit hard, so Impenetrable is just nice. We are rocking Impen on the Engine Guardian shoulders and Infused on the helm. So we're actually rocking 6 Impen on this build. I am probably going to change the trait of my Engine Guardian shoulders to Well Fitted, because Well Fitted is going to be giving me, it's going to allow me to not only save on my stam, but it will reduce the cost of my roll dodge and my sprint by 4%. So I don't sprint too often. I do sprint sometimes when I'm trying to use my Boundless Storm to get away from someone in combination with my streak, but just overall roll dodging is really nice, and having 1 piece of Well Fitted on any mag build is really crucial, because it will help you a lot to stay alive. Like, that 4% for roll dodge reduction is really nice. So I will be changing the trait of this heavy to Well Fitted. So it's going to be 1 Infused, 1 Well Fitted, 5 Impen, and you are good to go. So getting into the skills, actually let's do the champion points first, because champion points, it's pretty important. A lot of people don't really know how to run CP on a mag sword, and it's different if you're running a group play or if you're running solo, depending on what you kind of want to pull off. But this is how my CP is set up. Personally, this is what I like the best. I know a lot of people run different things, but for me, this is what works. So if we're going into the green tree right off the bat for Thief, we're rocking 56 into Warlord. This reduces the cost of Break Free by 20%. Break Free is pretty crucial. A lot of times when people die in Cyrodiil, it's because they don't have enough stam left to, you know, break free, and they die because they can't get out. So a lot of times when you're in a fight, it all comes down to, if both players are good, who has better resource management. So if you're able to break free a lot and get out of those risky situations, you're able to survive much longer. We are rocking 19 in Tenacity. This is going to increase the magicka and stamina of your fully charged heavy attacks. This is really good for sustain. Arcanus, we are rocking magicka recovery 12%, so 56 into there. You don't want to put any more than 56 because you will get diminishing returns. So you kind of want to spread out your CP in certain areas. We have Mooncalf right now. We're not max CP yet. We need about 60 more CP, but we're starting to stack into Mooncalf, which is going to increase stamina recovery. Like I said, running out of stam on a mag build is one of the main reasons why you die. So having the stam recovery is nice, and also having a lot of stam to use is really crucial on Magic Sword, because you can convert stamina into magicka if you're using Dark Conversion, which I highly recommend using on a Magic Sword build. For the Thief tree, the last one, we got 51 into Tumbling. This is going to reduce the cost of roll dodge by 19%. You don't need more than 51 because, like I said earlier, you're gonna get diminishing returns. And once we put that one piece of well fitted onto our build, we're actually going to be getting another 4%, so we'll be at 23%. Reduce the cost of roll dodge. So roll dodge is really important. It just helps you mitigate a lot of damage. Like, you don't take any damage when you roll dodge people's attacks. And on a mag sword, it might seem weird to stack into tumbling, but to be honest, I roll dodge quite often. There's a lot of times where I'll pop a tripod just to roll dodge so I can, you know, take a lot of damage off me. Because what are you gonna do when your mag is super low and it's like, say you have 5k mag left, right? But you have max stand. So if you can't streak to get away from people, being able to roll dodge and mitigate that damage until you get your mag back to gain distance is crucial when you're in a 1vx situation. Shadow Ward reduces the cost of block by 19%. I still animation cancel. It's still possible. It's just a little bit harder to do now that they changed the way that, you know, animation canceling works. You can still do it off of light attacks, but also blocking, you can still block animation cancel a little bit. So reducing the cost of block is really nice. Also, I do block quite often on my mag sword, trying to mitigate damage. If I get, you know, if a meteor comes onto me, if I don't feel like spamming my shield, you know, sometimes I will need to shield and block at the same time because I'm just getting hit so hard by so many people. And that's the only way I'm going to survive. So reducing the cost of your block by 19% is pretty nice. So going into the mage tree, we got 56 in Elfborn, so this is going to increase your critical damage and crit healing by 20%, which is really good for Cyrodiil. You want to have as much damage as possible, and also you want to be able to, you know, heal really well if you're using I'd say a pet or something. Now, I don't have any points. You know what? Now that I'm thinking it, I'm using Malakath. I'm not even doing critical damage. Yeah, we're not even doing critical damage. I didn't even realize this until, like, I'm making this build video. That's crazy. You actually don't need any points into this for this build. That's actually kind of cracked. Alright, so we're going to actually mess around with the blue CP together. We're going to put... So, this build is nice because you have really high max damage. So, let's increase the Flame, Frost, and Shock damage by 13%. So, we'll put 64 into there. We still want to get the Arcane Well, so we'll put 62 into Spell Erosion. We will get 22% for extra damage done with Mastered Arms. We're going to stack light and heavy attacks up to 28%. This is going to give us Tactician. When you roll dodge to dodge an attack, you set the enemy off balance. So this is actually sick, guys. I completely forgot that I don't even need Elfborn for this build because I'm not going to be doing any crit damage, right? So you wouldn't need the CP passive. So basically, we are going to stack the pen. We're going to stack the pen high. We're going to stack penetration super high because penetration is nice, right? It lets you get through enemies' resistances, shield scale off of, shield scale off resistances now too, so having that pen will be nice. So we got 64 into Elemental Expert. I don't want to put any more into that because I don't want to get diminishing returns. So we'll put 72 into Spell Erosion, 64 into Elemental Expert, 56 into Staff Expert, and 66 into Master Arms for increasing your damage done with direct attacks. And when I get more CP, maybe I'll make another build video and I'll do an updated CP tree for the damage, but right now for the blue tree, I think this is really good. Like I said, you can't do any critical damage if you're using a Malakath ring. So, and your healing ward doesn't get buffed by your heals at all. Like, it doesn't get buffed by critically healing because it's based off how much of the shield is left, and I'll go into that when we go over skills and stuff. But right now, I think this will be like the perfect setup for, that damage. You're getting high pen, you're getting high damage for your Flame, Frost, and Shock. This is going to buff your Overload, your Execute, your Crushing Shock, which you use to weave with with your light attacks, it's gonna be, you know, everything's gonna get buffed. Staff expert, this is gonna, like I said, we are going to be light attack and heavy attack animation canceling and weaving with our crushing shock. So this is going to highly buff the damage with that. So all this damage from the CP is going to be stacking with the Malakath ring that is giving you 25% more damage. Yeah, you might not be able to crit, but if you can stack your damage really high and you don't have to stack CP into the crit CP tree, now we're able to, you know, just get insane numbers. I'm actually so excited to go into Cyrodiil later because we're gonna be hitting harder than I was hitting in the video at the beginning. So I'm super excited about that. And then, like I said, we got the Bloodthirsty trait, so we're getting 35% more damage on people under 25% health. So there's actually, people aren't even going to be able to heal once I get them to execute range, unless they roll dodge. It's pretty much guaranteed kill if I can get someone to execute range. Now, going over the last part of the setup, we are rocking 51 into Ironclad, reduce the damage taken against direct attacks by 19%. We are 37 into Thick Skin for reduce the damage of dots. 6 into Light Armor Focus. We're starting to stack into this now for physical resistance. 43 into Hardy. 43 into Elemental Defender. We just want to even across the board because we run into mag builds and we also run into stand builds a lot. 516 critical resistance. We already got Impen, so that's good there. 61 into Bastion. Increase the damage, the effectiveness of your damage shields by 21%. It's pretty good. I wouldn't stack any more than there for diminishing returns. And then to top off the build that I haven't showed you guys yet, for the Resto, we are actually running a Potentate's Resto. So the 2-piece of this reduces your damage taken from players by 5%. So I'm taking a 5% damage, I'm taking 5% less damage from people in Cyrodiil, which is actually super, it's pretty OP. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they're actually nerfing it soon. It's gonna only be 3%, but still it's really good, and it stacks with the damage reduction that you get from the Psijic skill line, and also having a Psijic ability on your back bar. So going in the last part of the build, we got to talk about what skills to use. So for me, this is what I like running. I find this most optimal for Cyrodiil. So we got Curse. This is going to be really high burst damage. So without even being buffed, we got almost a 12k damage tooltip, and it does another 5k AoE damage to people around. And then what's nice about this new version of Curse is the Curse will continue to stay on your enemy, so it will deal another 11,000 damage after an additional 8 seconds, so it saves you mag not having to recast your Curse over and over again. Mage's Wrath, I prefer Mage's Wrath because my sustain's already pretty good. The other morph of this ability gives you back Magicka, and I prefer having more damage so I can kill people faster. And remember, we're using Malakath, and our CP is, we're stacking damage. So being able to stack damage on top of stacking damage on top of stacking damage is what we're trying to go for. But going on the rest of the build, we are rocking Streak. This is really good. I prefer Streak over Ball of Light because Streak is going to allow you to control a fight. It's going to allow you to control the tempo of the fight. If you have multiple people on you, you can keep them pinned down with Streak. You can't really do that with Ball of Light. Ball of Light's more of it's a running type gameplay. I like more being up in your face and personal, so I choose to use Streak. Also, Streak is really good CC wise because it can't be blocked. So you can Streak Meteor, Streak Overload, super strong. Crushing Shock, I like Crushing Shock over Elemental Weapon because Crushing Shock allows me to CC people that are trying to res, which happens a lot actually when I'm playing. Also, I just prefer the way Crushing Shock feels when I weave it over Ellie Weapon. Ellie Weapon just, I don't know, it's not really my thing. It's not my playstyle. Front bar, either Overload or Ice Comet, either one is really good. I prefer Ice Comet because it slows and it hits harder than Shooting Star. Back bar, Dark Conversion. You want Dark Conversion because it's going to allow you to restore health and Magicka, and it only costs 2,000 stam. Also, in my CP tree, the way I have it set up is we have the Unchained passive. I believe we have Unchained passive. Let me see. Yeah, we have Unchained, so when you break free, the cost of your next stamina ability used within 5 seconds is reduced by 80%. So my Dark Conversion goes from costing 2k to like 200, which is really nice. Healing Ward, I prefer Healing Ward over the other heals from Resto Staff, because Healing Ward is based off of how much of the shield you have left. So if we go over here, if there's any enemies left, we are going to let them hit me and they're gonna get my health low a little bit. Hopefully they get my health low. We'll see what happens. But it gives me a pretty big shield, and that shield stacks with Hardened Ward, and it also stacks with Annulment, which is the light armor shield. So if I have 3 shields, that's a lot less damage that I'm going to be taking from people, and a lot less damage that I can avoid taking because I can stack 3 shields. And also, if you put on your Healing Ward and then you stack your shields over it, the shields that you stack over your Healing Ward are going to get hit first, so you're able to actually you want to stack, I'm pretty sure you want to stack your Hardened Ward first and your Annulment, then your Healing Ward, because the first shield you put on is the first shield that gets taken off. So if you stack both your big shields and then your Healing Ward, you're going to be guaranteed to get that Healing Ward heal. But most of the time when you're really low, you do want to pop your Healing Ward first, because it's going to give you a really big shield. So if I pop Healing Ward here, you can see it gives me a pretty decent sized shield, and then it's going to be giving me it's going to be healing me constantly while I have the shield up, and also at the end it's going to be giving me a pretty nice heal. So if you see, if I stack the Healing Ward with my other shields, I'm going to be getting a huge shield, which is really nice. So get hit here, we're going to do all our shields, and we're going to have shields that pretty much cover our full health bar. So when you're stacking shields like that, it's really nice. Plus your 2 shields will protect your Healing Ward shield, so you're guaranteed to get the heal from your Healing Ward. And I am also running Defending on the Resto, so that is going to help increase the size of my shield. Once they nerf this set potentates, I'm probably going to be using the Black Rose Resto, which is going to increase the Healing Ward heal, which will be really nice. But I have no problems healing in Cyrodiil at all. Healing Ward is all I need. I don't need pets, and I never ever have problems healing. The only thing that I ever struggle with sometimes when I'm PvPing is people that hit ridiculously hard. I just can't heal through. I just can't like shield stack through it if people are hitting like ridiculously hard. There's some people with some Stem Nightblade builds that are just stupid strong, and they haven't, honestly, they nerfed shields, but then they added in all these new damage sets into the game, and they didn't rework shields. So mag builds are kind of struggling a little bit right now, but for the most part, I can kind of hold my own in Cyrodiil. The last 3 abilities on my bar, Dampen Magic, Hardened Ward, these are going to be your main shields. Dampen Magic is going to give you a bigger shield than Harness. Dampen is way better than Harness, just for survivability. Hardened Ward is just your main shield, it's OP. And then the last skill we're using, Precognition. So this is going to step you back in time, resetting your health, magic, and stamina to where they previously were 4 seconds prior, which is really nice. And then the passives that you get for having a Psijic ability on the back bar, you just can't beat. So reduce the cost of your abilities, your Psijic abilities, by 15%. That's cool. So when you cast a Psijic order ability, you are in combat, you generate a spell charge. When you reach 5 spell charges, you launch a spell orb at the closest enemy, dealing 3,900 magic damage or 1,900 physical damage, whichever is higher. The spell charge must be generated within 10 seconds. So this is a cool passive. We're not going to be getting this though, because you need to actually use 5 skills within the given amount of time, within 10 seconds to do that. So this is just a good passive for like PvE and stuff, if you know, or if you want to use imbued weapon. It's nice because your spell orb, if you want to use imbued weapon, it'll proc. Instead of using Crushing Shock, you can use that and then proc spell orb. Concentrated Barrier. This is really nice because it's going to give you a nice shield while you're on your back bar. And then when you're casting or channeling a Psijic ability, you gain major protection, reducing your damage taken by 30%. So the damage mitigation that you get from the Sigic skill line is really strong. Combine that with potentates on your back bar and you're good to go. I pretty much covered everything. I think I might have missed a couple things, but if you guys have any questions or any concerns about the build, or any ideas, let me know what you guys are running this patch in Cyrodiil. Maybe I'll check it out. Let me know how you guys are liking Magic Sorc. Are you guys enjoying it this patch? I know some people who like it, I know some people who don't like it. I'm enjoying it. It's not bad, but this is all I got for you guys now. We're going to be going over some more builds that I have come up with in the future, but until then, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Until next time, it's been your boy Slushy. Peace.